I'm going to mute all of you so that, hey, Diane, come on in. So that if you like, you can put it on an active speaker mode. And then I'll just be on the big screen. You can also do this nice gallery mode where you can see a little picture of everyone. And it's up to you whether or not you want to have your screen on. Hey, Pauletta. Hey, Barbara. So if you're just tuning in, grab a couple of blocks and or a couple of blankets. If you don't have blocks, you can roll those blankets and bring them as support up underneath the knees. And we're going to start lying down. So you're going to bring the soles of the feet together. And then make sure the support is underneath the knees so that you're not engaging any muscular effort in the hips. And then lie back, and you can bring a blanket for some support underneath the head here. And then just release your arms at your sides and allow the eyes to close, relax your jaw, release any tension you're holding on to in your face. Just kind of ease in today, letting go. See if you can allow your weight to be supported by your mat. And from here, we're going to come into a little breath work. So bringing the thumbs and the index fingers together, making that shape of a diamond, taking that diamond shape to the lower belly. And then just breathing in and out here. So you can start to expand your breath. So as you breathe in, the lungs expand, the belly will expand. Index fingers and thumbs will come apart as you exhale. Allowing those index fingers and thumbs to come back together. As you inhale, finding that expansion across the chest. Belly will rise, the index fingers and thumbs come apart. On the exhale, belly will slowly fall, allowing the index fingers and thumbs to come back together. Staying with this for a few more rounds of breath. And then take a deep breath in here. Exhale, send it all the way down to your toes. And just allow the arms to release back down to your sides. And then slowly taking the hands to the outsides of the knees. Go ahead and draw the knees in toward one another. Take the feet to the floor. Just sliding your blocks or blankets out of the way. The feet out to the edges of the mat and allow the knees to knock here. You can take the arms up overhead like cactus arms, bending the elbows. And then start to windshield wiper out the legs, taking your time, letting the knees drop to the left or right. And then see if you can start to connect this with your breath. So as you inhale, releasing back to the center. Exhale, up and over to the right. Inhaling toward the center. Exhale, up and over to the left. Just going back and forth a few times. And then the next time that you drop your knees over to the left, just looking over that right shoulder. And here, breathing into that whole right side. Inhale, back up and over through the center. Drop the knees over to the right this time. Look over that left shoulder. Breathe into that whole left side. Nice and easy. Releasing back to the center. Go ahead and wrap the arms around the knees here. Give your knees a hug. And then nice and easy. Start some circles. Circling clockwise here, letting that low back press down into the floor and then peel away. After you've gone through a couple of circles clockwise, go ahead and reverse the circle, kind of counterclockwise. And then from here, lengthen that left leg long onto your mat. Keep the right knee hugging in towards your chest. Take a couple of breaths here, just releasing to the front of that hip. And then start that same circle clockwise, releasing the sacrum down into the floor, and then feeling it peel away. And then reversing that circle, opposite direction. And the next time you draw your knee into your chest, we'll scooch the hips a bit to the right here. Drop the knee across the body, let the weight of that right shoulder blade release into the floor. Take a deep breath in. Exhale here as you twist. Nice and easy. And then coming back onto your back, take the hands back behind the thigh here, and we'll just lengthen through that right leg. So moving from your knee joint, bending the knee in, and then lengthen through that leg. And you're welcome to bend the left knee in as needed. Go through a couple more, and you can flex the foot as you draw the foot in toward the sitting bone if you like. And then maybe point the toes as you lengthen the leg. And on this next one, we'll lengthen all the way through that right leg. Keep the hands back behind the thigh or slide them up to the calf and then peel the upper body away from the floor. Drawing your forehead toward your knee, take a breath in. And as you exhale, nice and easy, lengthening through that leg. Take your time reaching the toes toward that opposite wall. Keeping that leg actively engaged as you release it all the way down. And then take a moment just to feel the difference in the hips here. Maybe that right leg feels a little bit longer than the left. We'll give the left knee a hug this time. So interlacing the fingers up underneath the knee, take a couple of breaths here just to release to the front of that hip. And then start that same circle. Releasing the low back down into the floor and then allowing it to peel away. And reversing that circle. So coming in the other direction. And then the next time you draw your knee into your chest, scoot your hips a bit to the left this time. We'll drop the knee across the body. Let the weight of that left shoulder blade release into the floor. Breathing into this twist. Take another breath here. Exhale, twisting out, and then unwind. Come back onto the back. Slide the hands back behind the left thigh this time and go ahead and lengthen all the way through that leg. And we'll bend the knee in here and then lengthen the leg, nice and easy. Moving on your breath, take your time. Next time you lengthen that leg, hold right here. Staying with the hands back behind the thigh or slide them up to the calf, peel the upper body away from your mat. Drawing the forehead toward the knee, take a breath in. And as you exhale, nice and easy, lengthening that leg toward the opposite wall, slowly lowering all the way down. Just allow the legs to drop open here. Take a moment. Feeling the difference in the hips. Maybe that leg feels a little longer here. And then taking the arms up overhead, take a stretch from your fingers all the way down to your toes. Go ahead and bend both knees in, planting the feet on the floor, rolling onto your right side, pausing for a moment. Maybe using that right arm up overhead like a pillow. And then pressing into the hands, allow the head to be the last to come up. We'll come up to an easy seat here. If you like, taking a block or a blanket underneath the hips here to elevate the hips. Bring the hips up higher than the knees. And then sitting up nice and tall. See if you can sink the sitting bones down into the floor as you lengthen up to the crown of the head. Roll your shoulders up by the ears. Draw the shoulder blades onto your back. Come back to the breath. Close the eyes once again. Starting to expand the breath here on the inhale, finding that length up through the crown of the head. On your exhale, feeling the sitting bones sink down into the earth. Join the palms over the heart. Bring your thumbs right to heart center. Just taking a moment to allow an intention to rise. And sealing that intention with the sound of one Om. So inhaling. Om. Take a breath. Exhale your breath. Blink open the eyes. And then keeping the palms together here, spread through the fingers. Make contact through the index fingers, the thumbs, the pinkies. Broaden across your collarbones a bit, lift the chest, and inhale. Take the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, releasing your hands back together over your heart. So palms press, arms reach. Lifting your gaze here, gazing up toward the thumbs. Exhale, releasing your hands back to heart center. See if you can straighten through the elbows here. That stretch of the shoulders. And then releasing the hands over the heart. This next time we inhale, we'll take the arms all the way up. Interlace the fingers here, invert your palms and lift them up toward the ceiling. Find that lift up even as you sink down. Take a breath in and we'll start to round the spine as you do reach the palms toward the front wall. And as you inhale, start to allow the back to arch. Lengthen through the belly. Exhale once again, round your spine, chin to your chest, pelvis rocks back. Inhale, float the arms up toward the ceiling. Find that length. Exhale and round your spine, chin to your chest, pelvis rocks back. The next time you breathe in, float the arms up, but this time sink your sitting bones down. Take a breath here. As you exhale, the elbows will bend. We'll nestle the back of the head into the arm. And stay here for a breath or two, just opening through the shoulders. Nice, take a deep inhale, let the weight of that elbow pull you down. Take this hand to the floor. We'll slide this hand back behind the head. Ease up toward your elbow here, breathing into your side waist. Exhale, round, fold over. So as you peel out, open across the chest, breathe into those ribs. Exhale, round, fold over. One more like that. Inhale, creating length and space. Exhale, round and fold. The next time that you peel out, go ahead and extend this arm all the way alongside the ear. Bend into that opposite elbow a bit more, but keep anchoring down through that sitting bone, lengthen out through the fingertips, breath in. We'll sweep this hand down to the outside of the knee. Take your other hand and bring it behind you, grow a little taller first. And as you exhale, start to build your way into the stress. So the crown of the head reaches up toward the ceiling as you breathe in. As you breathe out, think of the ribs wrapping around. From here, the head and neck will follow. One more breath in, grow taller, deepening this twist. And then as you inhale, take this other arm alongside the ear and just take a side bend in that other direction. So keep your chest turning up from here, sideways long. Breathing into those right ribs, we'll take the hand down. Bring your other knee from here, just relax the weight of the head, relax the back of the neck. And then on your next breath in, take the arms all the way up here like you're taking off your shirt. We'll backstroke the arms back behind you. Hang on to fingertips here. Lift your heart, lift your chest like you have a string lifting you up from the breastbone. little back bend. And then from here, rock back your sitting bones just a bit. We'll switch the crossing of the legs, so bringing that other shin on top, and then rejoin the palms. Pressing the palms together here, reach the arms up. Exhale, releasing your hands back over the heart. Inhale, palms press, arms lift, easing toward your thumbs. Exhale, releasing the hands to heart center. Once again, see if you can straighten through the elbows here, lift the gaze. Releasing your hands back over heart center. The next time you breathe in, take those arms all the way up. We'll take the opposite and release the fingers, invert the palms, reach them up toward the ceiling. Find that lift up. Even as you sink down, breath in, exhale, round. Inhale, peeling up, find length through the belly. Exhale, round, hold. Inhale, allow the back to arch. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, rocking back, rounding your spine. The next time you breathe in, take the arms up. This time, sink the sitting bones down. Grow a little taller here. And then bend the elbows, nestle the back of the head into the arm. Notice that this chin's coming toward the chest. Can you back the arms up a bit? Can you find a little more length up to the crown of the head? Breath in, the weight of that elbow pulls you down. Taking that hand to the floor, we'll slide this other hand back behind your head, gaze up. Exhale, fold over. So as you peel out, open across your chest. Exhale, round, fold over. One more like that. Inhale, creating length, creating space. Exhale, as you fold, bring it toward that opposite elbow. And then the next time you peel out, just extend this arm all the way alongside the ear. Finding that length out through the fingertips as you sink down through that right sitting bone. Breath in, we'll sweep this hand to the knee. Taking your other hand and coming onto the fingertips, bring it back behind you, grow a little taller first. And on the exhale, wrap it into your twist. Reach the crown of the head up toward the ceiling, creating space, creating length, deepening that twist, so ribs wrapping around the head and neck. One more breath in. Stay in the twist here. Take that opposite arm alongside the ear, and then lean over to the other side. Keep the chest turning up. Reach out through the fingertips. Find this other knee from here, folding over. Just relax the back of the neck. Allow the weight of the head to release. And then as you inhale, we'll sweep the arms all the way up. Open across the chest, kind of like you're taking off your shirt. And then back stroke the arms back behind you. Fingertips here. Lift your heart, lift the chest. Stay here. Peel the hips away from the mat. One more breath. And exhale, releasing, lowering down. Coming on to hands and knees. You're welcome to take your blanket underneath your knees here if you like. And we'll come into a table position. So bringing the hips and knees in line. Stack your shoulders and your wrists. Spread your fingers here. And start to press down into the floor through the finger pads and the knuckle pads. And we'll just shift forward and back just a bit, starting to warm up the wrist. Keep the fingers spread. Keep the hands anchoring down into your mat. Go through a couple back and forth. And then the next time you rock back, bring the wrists to face in toward one another this time. Same thing as before, just rocking back and forth. Keeping those fingers spread. And then one more, this time, turning the wrists to face the opposite direction. And go ahead and come back and forth one more time so they're parallel to the top of the mat. You might have a smaller range, but it might be a deeper stretch in the forearms. Nice, and then the next time we'll spin the fingers back around. And then from here, just extending the heart, dropping the belly. And on an exhale, rounding up through the spine, so curling the tail under. On an inhale, the belly will drop. From there, the heart will lift. And as you exhale, think of pressing into the hands as you rise all the way up. And then just moving on your own breath. On your own timing. Connecting the breath here with your movement. The belly drops, the heart will lift, extending the spine. And as you exhale, curling your tail under around all the way up. The next time that you come into cat, draw the chin to the chest here, we'll round up, and then separate the knees a little wider apart. Bring your hips all the way back toward your heels. Inch the fingertips out long in front here and just rest the forehead on the mat. Now, if the forehead doesn't rest on the mat, try taking the knees a little wider here. And then press into the hands, hover the elbows away from the floor. Deepen that stretch to the shoulders. We'll walk it out to the right. Reach your hips over to the left and breathe into that whole left side. Keep this nice and long, walk it through center. Make your way over to the left this time. Reach the hips over to the right. Breathe into that right side. And nice and easy, making your way back to center. Keep the hands out long in front of you. We'll shift forward, shoulders over the wrists, and then rock back and let the tailbone draw you back. So shifting forward as you lengthen through the belly. Exhale, tailbone draws you back and around the spine. Moving back and forth a couple of times. At your own pace here, kind of like an extended cat and cow. And then the next time you shift forward, we'll take a circle of the hips over to the right, moving clockwise. Opening up through the hips, the shoulders. After you've gone through a couple of circles, go ahead and reverse that circle and come in the opposite direction here. Circling over to the left. And then shifting forward, we'll come up onto all fours, tucking the toes, lift the knees, reaching the hips up and back. Make your way into downward dog and just pedal here. So bending one knee. As you reach and straighten that opposite heel toward your mat, still kind of warming up here. Getting things moving. We'll lengthen the heels toward the floor and lift up through the sitting bones. Actively press the hands into the mat. And then nice and easy, we'll walk the hands back toward the feet. So take your time, no rush. Walk the feet in toward the hands and kind of meet up in the middle. Bend your knees a lot. And from here, allow your chest to just collapse onto the thighs. Allow the head to be heavy. And take a hold of opposite elbows. Hang down. Hanging over the legs, shake your head yes, shake your head no. Release any tension you're still holding on to in the upper body. And we'll take a little sway side to side. Just opening up the side body nice and easy. For a couple of cycles, and then coming to rest in the middle. Soften your knees here, pull up and in the belly. We'll make our way up to stand, stacking one vertebrae on top of another. Engaging the abdominals here. Roll your shoulders back at the top, grow tall. Take a moment and stand in Tadasana. And then I'll slide my mat back here. And we'll lift all 10 toes away from the floor. See if you can spread your toes, bring them down one at a time from those pinkies all the way to the big toes. One more like that. Lift all 10 toes, spread them out, and then bring your pinkies down, then the next toe, then the next toe, all the way to the big toes. Find that lift through the arches of the feet. Left leg carry up, lifting the kneecaps here. Knees and quads. Drop the tailbone down, roll your shoulders down. As you inhale, we'll take the arms up. Exhale, little bend in the knees. Fold forward, hinging from your hips. Lengthen the belly here. Hands can come to shins or maybe thighs. Really come into that long spine. Fold forward, ground your feet. Take the arms all the way up as you breathe in and breathing out. Tadasana. Inhale, arms sweep open across the chest, gaze toward the thumbs. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Hold forward. Lengthen the belly here. Hands to shins or thighs. Make sure the head is in line with the spine. Folding forward, soften the knees a bit, hinge from your hips, rise all the way up to stand. And as you exhale, releasing your arms down. Tadasana. Nice, we'll move on from here. Inhale, taking the arms all the way up. Exhale, hinging from your hips, fold forward over the legs. This time lengthening through the belly, heart draws forward. We'll take the right leg back into a lunge. And then lay on the fingertips here as you exhale, stepping that left foot back to meet your right. Make your way to downward facing dog. Start to pedal the feet, bending one knee and then the other. And then lengthening the heels toward the mat, lifting up through the sitting bones, pressing into the hands. Glide forward into a high plank, lifting the heels high, shoulders over the wrists. Aim the chest forward here, take the knees down to the mat. See if you can hug your elbows in as you lower onto your belly. Once you're here, activate the legs, hug the elbows and peel the chest away. Take a baby cobra. We'll draw back for all fours, tuck the toes, lift the knees and reach the hips up and back to downward dog. Taking a breath here. From here, step the right foot forward. Take the left foot to meet the right, fold over the legs. And then ground the feet, take the arms all the way up as you breathe in. Breathing out. Tadasana. Inhale, arms sweep. Hinge from the hips, fold forward, little bend in the knees. Lengthening the belly, heart draws forward. This time the left leg will step back. And then really actively engage this back leg, drawing the back thigh up toward the ceiling. From here, take that right foot back to meet your left downward dog. Pedal in place, so bending one knee as you reach and straighten that opposite heel towards your mat.
And then switch. And then lengthening both heels toward the floor. From here, lift the heels high, heel forward into a plank. Engage your shoulder blades onto your back. Come forward to tippy toes, lower the knees. Hug your elbows and lower all the way onto your belly. We'll activate the legs from there, peel the chest away, take a cobra, and then tucking the toes. And back for all fours. Press into the hands, draw your thighs up and back to down dog. Take a breath. From here, stepping the left foot forward, back to fingertips. Step the right foot to meet the left, fold over. Softening the knees, hinge from your hips, rise on an inhale breath, and releasing the arms down, Shavasana. Inhale, the arms sweep all the way up overhead. Exhale, hinging from your hips, fold forward over the legs. Lengthening the belly, heart draws forward, take the right leg back. And then light on the fingertips here, engaging through that back leg, we'll step the left foot back to meet the right. Making your way into downward facing dog, pedaling the feet. Waking up the backs of the legs and then reaching through the heels, lift up through the sitting bones. Heels lift high and ride your breath forward into a plank. Shoulder blades engaged onto the back. Lowering the knees or lowering in one piece all the way onto your mat. This time coming into a larger cobra and then tucking the toes, come back for all fours. Draw the thighs up and back to downward dog. From here, we'll step the right foot through. And as you feel steady, just float the arms all the way up and rise into a high lunge here. Take the hands onto the hips. Work on squaring the hips here, bringing those bony points, they point forward. And take a little bend to this back knee. And then find a little hugging in of the inner thighs, like you've got a block between the thighs. Float the arms back up overhead, find this reach to the arms. We'll take a breath in here, and as you exhale, nice and easy, opening out to the right, maybe bending that back knee. Take this left hand down, either to the block here or to the floor, reach the right arm up. Make a fist with that top hand, take a little circle in one direction. And the other, and then grounding down the lift up. Take a breath in here, we'll circle that arm around toward the front wall. And then release the hands down either side of that front foot. So finding this lift to the chest. As you exhale, lengthen over that front leg, so grabbing blocks here as needed. Rebend the front knee and draw your heart forward. Exhale, lengthen all the way through that front leg. Draw your hips back. 2 more like that. Moving with your breath. The next time that you lengthen through this front leg, walk your back foot in a bit, maybe ground the heel. Now remember, you can always readjust your blocks. Bring them up to the higher height here. Bring them to the low height, medium height. And then see if you can soften into this and then allow the weight of the head to release. So if you're feeling like you're going to lose your balance, you're kind of sending that message to your body to tighten up, and then it will be harder to come into this stretch. So take your blocks onto that appropriate height to allow yourself to ease into this. Take another breath here. And then we'll rebound the front knee. And from here, you can use blocks or come to fingertips. Pull the weight into the front foot. Take that left foot to meet it. Fold over. And then grounding the feet here. Take the arms all the way up as you breathe in. And releasing the arms to your sides. Shavasana. Taking the arms all the way up on an inhale breath. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Fold forward. This time the belly will lengthen. We'll take the left leg back. Coming high up onto your fingertips here, activate the back leg, and then stepping that right foot back to meet your left. Downward dog, pedaling in place, bending one knee. As you reach and straighten that opposite leg. And then lengthening the heels toward the mat, lifting up through the sitting bones. Press into the hands, we'll peel forward into a high plank on your next breath in. Lowering to the mat in one piece or lower the knees, and then see if you can control your descent, lowering all the way onto your belly. Activate the legs here, peel your chest away, take a larger cobra, and then drawing back for all fours, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back to down dog. Take a breath, we'll step the left foot forward this time. Come on your fingertips, as you feel steady, reach the arms up and rise to a high lunge. And then you can bring the hands onto the hips here, just making sure the hips are square, that back heel is spun up away from the floor. And then you're drawing this right hip point forward a bit, left hip point back. Draw the inner thighs in. Float the arms all the way up overhead. Take a breath in. We'll open out to the left this time. Maybe taking a bend of that back knee. This right hand comes to the block or the floor. Left turn reaches up. Take a fist. Take a little circle. Circling the other way. And then ground down to lift up. Circle that arm around toward the front wall. And release the hands down onto blocks or the floor here. Lift through your chest. Exhale to lengthen all the way through that front leg, or as much as you can. Rebend, the heart will draw forward. Exhale, lengthen all the way. Move through that 2 more times. And then you can hop this back foot in, ground the heel, soften the face. Folding over, allow the back of the neck to release, relax your jaw, but soften the face. Take another breath. We'll rebend this front knee, heart draws forward. And then you can use blocks or come to fingertips here. Step that right foot to meet your left. Hold over. And then we'll ground the feet here. Take the arms all the way up as you breathe in. And breathing out. Tadasana. Inhale, reaching the arms. Exhale, fold forward over your limbs. This time, lengthen the belly, and then we'll step into a plank. And from here, you can either lower the knees or lower all the way down in one piece. And rise to a larger back bend if you like, or stick with cobra and making your way back. Move to downward facing dog. When you're ready, stepping that right foot forward. Turn the back foot, heel down, ground heel, and lift the arms all the way up, coming into your Virasana one. And then see if you can sink through that back heel as you do. Find this lift of the chest. Bending into the front knee. And the outer edge of that back foot all the way down. If you need to, you can widen the arms so that maybe come to a V. Breathing into this, take another breath. And then take an inhale as you exhale. We'll open it up to warrior 2. So readjust your stance just a bit here. Bringing that front foot forward, the back leg back, so that as you bend into that front knee, eventually the knee will line up over the ankle. And then extend the arms out. If this feels like too much on the shoulders, you can always take the hands over the heart. And then really start to sink into that front knee. Find a little bit of ease in your pose. Nice. From here, we'll flip the front palm, slide the back hand down the back thigh, and just take a reverse warrior. And then as you inhale, take the back hand all the way down to the floor. Let that back heel spin up. We'll reach the right leg back, take a downward dog split. Bend the knee here, fan the hip, maybe circling the ankle. Circling the other way, and then lengthening that leg. Nice and easy, float the foot down to meet the other foot. When you're ready, spinning that right heel down to the earth, step the left foot forward. Lift the arms all the way up. Come to your Virasana one. And then plant the back heel as you do. Find that lift to the chest. Find that extension out through the arms, reaching energy through to the fingertips. If you need to, taking those hands to a V if it feels like too much to reach on the line with the shoulders. Take a breath here as you exhale. We'll open up to 2. Readjust the stance. So that as you bend into that front knee, the knee more or less lines up over the ankle here. And then reach the outer edge of that back foot all the way down into the floor. From here, hands to the heart or extend out through the arms. One long line, fingertip to fingertip. And from here, we'll take a reverse warrior, flip the front palm, slide the back hand down the back thigh. And then on your inhale breath, take the back hand all the way down, spin the back heel up. We'll reach the left leg back, bend the knee, fan the head, maybe circle the ankle. Lengthening that leg, float the foot down to meet the other foot. Staying with down dog, or you can always lower the knees. Sink the hips for the heels. Rounding the spine, take a rest in child's pose. And then as you're ready, making your way back to downward dog. If you took a rest in child's pose, we'll take the right foot forward, ground the back heel, lift the arms here, back into Virabhadrasana 1. And then notice that the outer edge of that back foot is peeling away from the mat. Can you sink down to that pinky toe side of the foot? And then through the grounding of that back foot, can we find that lift up through the chest? And then find that extension out through the arms, reaching through the fingertips. Take a breath in. We'll open it out to warrior 2. Readjust your stance just a bit. Bring that front foot forward to the back leg back. And we'll start to sink into that front knee. And then just make sure you're not rolling in on the inside of the foot here. So directing that right knee to open out to the right. Reach down for the pinky toe side foot, or the right foot. Find that extension out through the arms. Relax the jaw. Soften the face a bit. Can you be soft and still be strong? We'll take a reverse warrior. Sliding that back hand down and then come back into warrior 2. And this time lengthen all the way through that front leg. Shifting the hips over to the left, lengthen the right side waist here. Reach out for the right fingertips. Taking the hand to the shin, lift the top arm high. And then you can either lift the gaze up toward that hand, or if it feels like too much, looking straight ahead or maybe down to the front big toe. Take another breath in. We'll ground down through both feet like somebody's got you by the wrist, rising up. Bring those right toes so they're parallel to the left. Turn to face the side wall here. Lift your chest. You can extend out through the arms. And then hinging from your hips, fold all the way forward. Taking a little bend in the knees as needed. Take the hands down to the floor. You're welcome to take hands to blocks. Reaching the crown of the head toward the mat. Bring into a wide-legged forward fold here. Taking a little bend in the knees or work towards lengthening the backs of the legs. Breath here, and we'll lengthen through the belly. You're welcome to take that left hand to a block. Maybe shortening the stance just a little here to peeling the feet in. Take your right hand to the sacrum, start to turn your chest. And then staying here, float this top arm up toward the ceiling. Think of grounding down to lift up. Reaching out for the right fingertips, one more breath. Releasing that hand down to the floor, right underneath the nose, maybe to the block. Take the left hand to the sacrum this time. First find length through the spine, and then start to turn the chest, looking over that left shoulder. Maybe the left arm extends. Reaching up through the left fingertips. And releasing the hand down. We'll walk the hands around toward this front foot. Start to bend into the front knee. Spin off the back heel here. Lower that back knee all the way down, maybe taking some padding underneath that knee as needed. And then you're welcome to grab a hold of some blocks here. Start to sink the hips. Take your time. The next few moments to settle in, and then we'll take the hands onto the front thigh. Find this lift to the chest. Press down through that left foot, rising up. Readjust the pelvis a bit, and then re-sink, keeping the pelvis coming forward evenly. And then press down through the right foot like a break. Rise up. Re-sink. One more like that. Press down. Rise up, and we'll re-sink into that front knee. Find this lift to the chest. Take the hands onto the front thigh, or you're welcome to sweep the arms all the way up. A little bit of a back bend here if you like, and release the hands all the way down. And we'll come back into a low lunge here, so keeping the back toes under. And then from here, go ahead and hop the back foot in a bit and just lengthen through that front leg. So you're welcome to take blocks to the high, the low, or the medium height here, whatever works for you. Make sure the back heel is grounded, lengthen the belly, and then we'll fold all the way over that front leg. Create a Parsvottanasana. Back heel is spun down to the mat. Toes are turned out just a bit. Front toes point ahead. Hands can come to blocks or onto the floor. And then you're folding over that front leg. Take another breath or two here. From here, we'll rebound the front knee. You're welcome to grab blocks. Wiggle the back toes back. Come back to that low lunge. And then just step this left foot to meet the right. So we'll feel the feet apart just a bit. And then you're welcome to grab a hold of opposite elbows, or if it's available to you, maybe taking a yogi toe up here, wrapping the index finger and the next finger around those big toes. Lengthen the belly as you fold, just allow your elbows to bend to the sides. Think of allow the weight of the head to just hang. Giving into gravity here, letting go. Gravity is on your side in this pose. Relax the jaw. Nod and yes, and shake it out. And then nice and easy, we'll release the toes. You're welcome to take the hands to the thighs for support. Engage the belly, press the floor away, but keep those knees soft to protect the low back. Roll up to stand. Wiggle the feet toward one another. Take a moment to find Tadasana. And then inhaling the arms all the way up. Maybe trim your hips here, fold forward. We'll come into a long spine and then step into a plank. This time, draw your thighs up and back. Coming into downward dog, stepping the left foot forward. Turn the back foot out, round the heel, float the arms all the way up. Virabhadrasana 1. Bend into the front knee. Plant down through the outer edge of the back foot. Find this lift to the chest. Find that reach and extension up through the arms. And then maybe lift the knees up toward the hands. Take another breath here. We'll open up to Virabhadrasana 2. Readjust the stance a bit. Spread through the toes. Sink into the front knee. And then take your feet down. Make sure you're not rolling in on the inside of that foot. So keep sinking the outer edge of that pinky toe side of the foot to the floor. Opening the knee out to the left. Settle in. Relax your jaw a bit. Softening into this. We'll come back to reverse warrior. And then coming into warrior 2, lengthen all the way through that front leg. Put the left hip under here and lengthening through that left side waist. Reach the left hand toward the wall. Right arm lifts toward the ceiling. Trikonasana. Keep the chest turning up here, and you can lift the gaze up toward that top head. If it's too much on the neck, looking straight ahead, or maybe even down toward that front big toe. And then, like somebody's got you by the wrist, press down for both feet to rise back up. Bring your feet to their parallel here, so readjust as needed. Lift the chest, extending out through the arms if you like. Hold all the way forward, reaching from your hips. And coming into a second set, wide-legged forward fold. Hands can come to blocks to the floor. If the crown of the head is almost toward the mat, you can take a block underneath. Softening into this, relax your jaw. You can stay with a little bend in the knees here, or work towards lengthening through the backs of the legs. One more breath. Walk the hands out. Lengthen the belly, left palm underneath the nose. Right hand to the sacrum. You're welcome to take that hand to a block. Turn the chest. Easing over that right shoulder, maybe reaching that far enough. Open across the chest, grounding down to lift up, taking that right hand down. This time bringing the left hand to the sacrum. Find a long spine first. Find that length, and then turning from the belly button. And then from here, maybe the left arm reaches through the ceiling. One more breath. Nice and easy, unwind. We'll walk the hands around toward the front foot. Spin off this back heel, lower the back knee all the way down. So maybe taking some padding to that back knee is needed. And then start to sink your hips, settle in a bit. Give your hips a moment to sink in that message, a moment to go from your brain to your body. And then taking the hands onto the front thigh, press down through that left foot to rise up. And then readjust and re-sink. And press down to rise up. And re-sink. This next time you sink, press down to rise up, but keep that pressure through the foot as you re-sink. So that you're not just sinking into the joints here, there's a little bit more muscular engagement. So that left foot's like a brake. Hands to the thigh or sweep the arms all the way up onto me. Asana, keep pressing down to that left foot. Circle it all the way back and around. Hands to blocks here. We'll transition back into a low lunge. So tuck the back toes under, lift that back knee away. And then hop your back foot in a bit, ground the heel. Lengthen the belly here. Remember, you can readjust your blocks. And then from here, fold over that front leg. Forehead toward the knee, Parsvottanasana. We're working on leveling the hips here. If the back heel's not grounded, see if you can shorten the stance just a bit and ground down to that outer edge of the back foot. Belly is lengthening. You're folding all the way over that front leg. Soften the face here. Relax the jaw a bit. Softening into this. One more breath. And then we'll rebend the front knee. Wiggle the back toes back into a low lunge here. And step your right foot to meet the left. Toe heel the feet apart. Opposite elbows, yogi toe. Or maybe lifting the feet here, sliding the hands underneath. You're welcome to keep the knees bent. Chest releasing toward the thighs. And you can stay here or maybe start to lengthen through the backs of the legs. Not by just pressing the knees back, but instead lifting the hips up so that weight is shifting forward toward the balls of the feet. Hips lining up over the heels. Deepening this opening in the back body. If you have glaucoma or other issues, this may be a pose you want to avoid because the pressure can put on the eyes. And then we'll release here. Soften your knees and make your way up to stand. Spreading through the toes. One vertebrae stacking on top of another here. Roll your shoulders back to the top. We'll toe heel the feet in. Just take a moment and find Tadasana. So find that sense of grounding down to lift up. And then as you feel steady, start by spreading the toes of the right foot, grounding down into that right leg. Lift the left toes away. And you can bring the foot to the heel with the ball of the foot on the floor. You can slide it up to the calf. Or you can take the foot all the way to the inner thigh here. And then take the palms together over your heart. See if you can actively press that foot into the inner thigh or the calf. And then actively press the calf and the inner thigh back into the foot. And then find that lift up. Make sure you're not sinking into that right hip. In fact, you can even take your hands to your hips to kind of feel your pelvis. Make sure you're finding that lift up to the crown of the head. Keep the hands over the heart, or you can extend the arms out to a V. And then if you like, maybe lifting that gaze. Breathe. Nice and easy, we'll release the foot. Come to stand on both feet. Take your time. And then spreading through the toes of the left foot here when you're ready. Bringing that right foot up. So either the heel, the calf, or maybe taking the foot all the way to the inner thigh. And then see if you can actively press the foot into the thigh or the calf here. Press the thigh or the calf back into the foot. And then through that grounding down, drawing roots down into the floor, find that length up to the crown of the head. And from here, you can take those arms up. Maybe see what it's like to lift your gaze. See if that changes your balance or lack thereof. When you're ready, nice and easy, releasing. Lowering the foot back down to the mat. Just take a moment. Standing in Tadasana. When you're ready, we'll inhale the arms all the way up. So exhale here, hinging from your hips, fold forward. We'll lengthen the belly and step into a plank. You can lower the knees, or for a little more challenge, onto the tippy toes here. Keep the elbows hugging in and just lower all the way onto your belly. Turn your gaze, look over that right shoulder, release your arms at your sides. Press the left ear into the mat. And bring the chin to the top of the mat. And from here, slide the hands underneath the shoulders. Hug the elbows in. Actively press the tops of the feet into the floor like your cobra tail behind you. And start to peel the chest away. Not by using the hands at first, but by using the upper back, the chest, and then press into the hands. Lift a little higher. One more breath. So exhale, nice and slow, lowering down. We'll take that right ear to the mat. Release your arms at your sides. You can allow the heels to fall apart. Big toes to come toward one another. Maybe shimmy the hips side to side. We'll bring the chin back to the top of the mat. When you're ready, hands underneath the shoulders. Draw the elbows in, activate the legs, and then start to peel up slowly, bone by bone. Bring the chest between the hands here, lift through the chest. One more breath. And as you exhale, lowering slowly. Take your time. Look over that opposite shoulder here. Shimmy the hips side to side. Bring your chin back to the top of the mat. This time, setting up for Shalabhasana. Reach the arms at your sides. Heel the chest away. Roll your shoulders and chest open. And then float the legs away from that. Really engage the thighs. Thighs lift away from the floor. Toes are reaching to that wall behind you. Lift a little higher here if you're able. And then floating back down. Shimmy the hips. Easing over that opposite shoulder. Heels fall apart here. Big toes come to touch. We'll slide the hands underneath the shoulders, come back for all fours. Separate the knees a little wider apart than usual. Take the hips all the way back toward the heels, rest the forehead. Getting back into an extended child's pose. From here, let's go ahead and swing the legs around. You need to lie on the back. Knees bent in. We'll take this right ankle over the left knee. And then staying here if you're already feeling the stretch, or you can bring that foot away from the floor. Maybe bring the foot to the block, or the hands can slide back behind this left thigh. We'll set up for reclining pigeon or figure four stretch here. And then flex the feet a bit, toes drawing back. Make sure that right knee's opening out to the right. And when you look down, just make sure there's a straight line from your ankle to your toes. Relax your jaw. Softening into this. Stay with us a few more rounds of breath. Lengthen that left leg long. Scoot your hips a bit to your right here. And then drop your knee across the body. Setting up for a twist. Let the weight of that right shoulder blade release into the floor. This left hand come to the outside. And unwind. And bring the left ankle to the right knee this time. So stay here or release this foot. Hands can come back behind this right thigh. Down again, relax the jaw. Constitute any tension at all to bring the hands back behind the thigh, and just keep the arms released to your side. Take another breath here. Nice and slow, lengthening that leg long. Scoot your hips to the left this time. Drop the knee across the body. Come into a twist. And you can let the weight of that left shoulder blade release to the floor. Maybe this right hand comes to the outside. Breathing into this twist. Take another breath here. Unwind. Back out to the back here. And then bend the knees in. If you have a block handy, we're going to set up for a supported bridge. So lifting the hips here. Slide your block underneath. You can bring it on the low or the medium height. Bring it right at the sacrum, that flat bone at the base of the spine here. Take a couple of breaths in your supported bridge. And then from here, if you like, lengthening one leg and then the other, we'll come into a supported shoulder stand. So this has all the benefits of shoulder stand without any of the risks. You can release the arms at your sides, bring your palms to face up, close your eyes, and stay with this a good 5 to 6 breaths. Softening into it. Take another breath here. Exhale it out. And then nice and slow, bending the knees in. Take the feet to the floor together for one final challenge. And then lift the hips up once the toes touch down. Walk your feet out to the edges of the mat and take a moment to neutralize, bringing the arms back up overhead and the elbows here, and then drop the knees, the left, the right. Go through a couple cycles on your own, moving on your breath. And then the next time you drop your knees to the left, just look over that right shoulder and breathe into that whole right side. And come back to the center. Open the knees over to the right, breathe into that whole left side. Come back to the center, we'll extend the legs long. Taking the arms at the sides a little bit away from the body, palms face up. Coming up for Shavasana, if you have a blanket and you want to bring it for support underneath the knees here, help the low back do so. And dim the lights. And then lying back, settling in. Trying to deepen the breath. Some movement back to the body. Wiggling fingers, toes. When you're ready, taking your arms up overhead, just taking this final stretch from your fingers all the way down to your toes. And bend the knees in one at a time here. And come to rest on your right side, just using that right arm up overhead. And pause. Taking a moment. Let's just soak in all the effects of your practice. Keeping the eyes closed. And then press your way back up to a seat. Well, into an easy seated position. You can use your blocker or blanket underneath the hips if you like. And then sitting up nice and tall here, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Bring back to the breath. And joining the palms over the heart and bring back to your intention. We'll close class with the sound of one Om. Bring the hands to forehead center, folding forward. Namaste. Thanks so much, guys. Nice to see your smiling faces.
Thank you.
Meredith.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
Great. Good luck.
Have a great weekend. It looks like the weather's supposed to be nice, and play along with our bingo. Hey, Lara. And we'll be back next week. And then just so you know, we're looking into reopening at some point in June. Just depends on how everything goes. Yeah, let's cross our fingers that this all works out, and we'll be able to reopen sometime soon. So thanks for hanging in there with us. We'll continue the Zoom classes at least through June, or maybe we'll permanently. So I'm sure we'll be limited to the amount of people that we can have in class and that sort of thing. So we'll continue this, and we'll have to figure all this out and how it's going to work. There'll be a lot of things in place. So a lot to do before then. But thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Leave. Come on. I'm meant to leave here.